This podcast was originally live-streamed on the NonSequitur show on YouTube. New episodes air weekdays, Monday through Friday, at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/NonSequitur show. Make sure you never miss a live stream by visiting www.nonsecshow.com/schedule. For the latest news, polls and updates throughout the day, follow us on Twitter @NonSecShow or Facebook.com/NonSecShow. That's NONSEQ show. If you'd like to get exclusive content, bi-weekly private hangouts with Kyle and Steve, backstage access to chat with guests after shows hosted on your channel and much more, become a Patreon saint of NonSequitur. It ensures we continue to improve our show and brings you into the process at the same time. Visit patreon.com/NonSequitur today while the limited spots are still available.
The following podcast is intended for those who believe bold ideas are righteous, unique perspectives are gospel, and strong opinions are sacred. This is Non-Sequitur. Never follow. And now, here are your hosts, Kyle Curtis and Steve McRae.
Welcome back to all of you watching. It's quite the turnout for Destiny and Ian. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you both here.
Hey, thanks for having us on.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to be here right
and
now.
Destiny?
Yep. What's up?
Well, thank you both for coming on. I think this is going to be a great chat. I'm not really going to go into the normal announcements that we do here beforehand. We're just going to kind of get right into it. I don't want to waste any more time, other than to say that we do have on the 12th. People were asking about gang stalkers. We had some people send us some links for the people who adhere to the whole gang stalking conspiracy. I actually have a couple of them coming on that date, so we will be covering that and find out why they are targeted individuals, or even if they are. So we'll see that on the 12th. Okay, tonight we're going to be talking about free speech and the right to offend. It's a topic that's constantly coming up. From Alex Jones to shadow banning on Twitter. There's all sorts of different areas that this can go into, and these. Actually, we have two really popular people in the gaming world here, so I thought this would be a great pairing. And I'll let you guys introduce yourselves and tell people what you do and why you do it. Ian, you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So I used to be a game journalist and then became a journalist, I suppose. That's a dirty word these days. Now I just do YouTube. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think you might know me from Twitter because I have a lot of followers for some reason. And people follow me for memes and stuff. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. And Destiny.
Hey, real quick, if I refresh this page because I think it's using my shit microphone right now, is that okay, or will it fuck all of your shit up?
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
You can refresh it. You'll just drop out for a second.
Okay, hold on. Refreshing for 1 second.
Cool. And then tomorrow, guys, just to let you know, we have a doubleheader on the Saturday night fights. We're going to be having Godless Engineer and Team Skeptic. Oh, yeah.
It sounds a lot better. It's your proper microphone.
Really good.
Yep. Okay, cool. All right. Was it on me? Am I supposed to introduce myself?
Yes, we were on you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My name is Destiny. I started off as a semi-professional gamer. People know me for video game streaming and for politics. And I do like half and half politics and video games right now.
He has a lot of debates on his channel, guys. You should check him out. I was watching we were talking earlier. I watched a Jordan Peterson. There was a Jordan Peterson fanboy that he had a debate with, and it was something else. I mean, how the patience that you have sometimes on these debates is pretty impressive.
Thanks. We'll see how patient I am tonight.
All right. Well, let's jump right into it then. Oh yeah, you two have
last time we met. Yeah, we've met.
Yeah, I was getting ready to.
They got
ready to ask you.
So can I cuss on this show? Am I allowed to?
Oh
Fuck
yeah,
no,
absolutely.
Fuck no, fuck.
Oh
yeah, fuck you can't.
Yeah, I was a bit of an asshole, and
Kyle and I
I
are the
didn't
only
get
two
my
that
facts
can-
right. And yeah, at the time, Destiny, he pretty much schooled me, and then Medicare was there, and he sort of like took what I was trying to say and put it forward. But yeah, that was a bad performance for me. Whatever,
Oh, okay. Maybe some middle ground here tonight then. That's promising.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
promising.
Maybe.
All right, so let's dive right into it then. Who wants to start us off? When I ask the question, do we have the right to offend? Does anybody have like a right off the cuff answer or a direct answer?
Yeah,
Or is it nuanced?
sure. I've got an answer. What does it mean to offend someone, right? Do you mean like go out of your way to piss somebody off, or do you mean say something and then a person gets offended? Because that usually, like, that's half the time, right? That's half the time you say something wrong and someone gets offended by it because they choose to take offense. So did you do something wrong by saying something wrong, or is it on them? Is the onus on them to not be offended?
Well, I mean, in the general sense of like, if you like, let's say a slur, if we'll use that example, if someone wanted to use a racial slur towards someone intentionally, do they have the right to do that with freedom of speech?
Well, I think that yes, they do. They do have the right to do that, just like they have the right to say anything that questions authority or anybody else, right? Because where do you draw the line? I mean, if you create a law against quote-unquote hate speech, then you're essentially saying that there's an authority that decides what is okay to say and what's not okay to say. And so what's okay to say right now might not be okay to say in the next administration. So, right now you can, criticize, all anything that you want. But what happens, when the next people who take over decide that, yeah, you can't criticize white men, that's a bad thing to do. It's a racist thing to do. We're going to censor anyone who criticizes white people. That would be, that would obviously backfire against people who want these laws in place. So that's the danger of it. It's creating a precedent that I don't think you can easily rein in.
Wait, do we have laws in the
Destiny?
United States right now that make it so that you can't say certain things, or are we?
No,
pretty
not
much
America, but I'm talking about Europe. I think
Okay,
there
so in
are
the United
laws in
States-
the U.S. that prevent you from inciting people to violence. Like, that's the only law that's there right now. And I completely agree with that law. I mean, if you tell someone, hey, go kill somebody else, that is an incitement to violence. If you're calling for a riot, like burn down this building, this courthouse, that can get you arrested for it, because that's, you're inciting people. So that's not considered free speech.
What about like doxing somebody? Do you think you should be allowed to post somebody's personal information on social media?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. What about things like swatting? Like if you call a police station and make
Swatting?
a false report or whatever?
Oh, absolutely not. That's not under free speech. I mean, that is, you're inciting violence, or rather not inciting violence, but causing violence, right? You can cause a person to get killed if you swat them.
But not necessarily, right?
Not necessarily, but again, it's a waste of police time. Those cops, they are using, they could be elsewhere saving lives or doing whatever, just doing their jobs, and you're sending them off to kill somebody. So that should be illegal, and it is illegal in many places. Like that one guy who swatted that Call of Duty player, right? He swatted the wrong house, guy got killed, he's now in jail. So yeah, it's illegal.
Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that swatting somebody should be considered illegal because there is a probability, some percentage, that person could actually get hurt as a result of that action, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So how does doxing not fall under that?
Doxing doesn't fall into that because anything can be doxing. I mean, what is doxing exactly? We need to establish that, and I don't think there's any legal
so doxing is
terminology
posting
for what doxing is.
information. Sure. So doxing would be posting information that somebody would have a reasonable expectation to be private in a public forum. So, for instance, if I'm posting a phone number or an address of somebody that reasonably doesn't want that posted on some public forum where it can be easily accessed.
Yep. Unfortunately, the internet is what it is, and people put their own information out there. So, is it a crime for someone else to find that information and put it out there? I don't think it is. It might be rude. It might be a very mean-spirited thing to do, which is what a lot of people do, obviously. But is it illegal? I don't think it's illegal, and it shouldn't be illegal because anyone can do that. I mean, look at journalists, right? When CNN goes to somebody's house and interviews them, and they don't even know that they're going to be interviewed, that is essentially a bit like doxing, because everyone who's watching it, who might know where that person lives, now they know exactly where that person lives. If that person's unpopular or something,
Wait, are you
there's
telling me
a
that
question
CNN
as
goes
to
to
how are
people's...
you going to legalize it?
Well, you think CNN goes to people's houses and does interviews and publishes them without that person ever signing a release and without protecting the identity of the
That has happened.
person?
That did happen
I'm not
with
asking
one
if it has
person who...
happened by mistake. Sure, so one time I'm sure, but as a
Not by
general
mistake,
policy, I
by
don't believe any...
as a general policy, I don't think they do that on all the time. No, but it has happened. So my question is: do you want these journalists to go to jail because they did that? I mean, does TMZ have to go to jail because they run up to celebrities' houses or whatever and do whatever they want? I don't think they should be.
Sure, so,
I mean,
so
paparazzi is shit,
yeah.
but
We're conflating a lot of different things right here with celebrities versus non-celebrities, public figures versus non-public figures. So I'm not aware that any major media organization will run to personal people's houses and publish interviews with them without them signing a release or something first. Does this actually happen? I'm very curious when CNN did this.
It has happened. They did this with a Trump supporter, I think a year ago. She ran a Facebook group, one that was like super popular for Trump supporters, and she posted some racist stuff, I think, and they cornered her at her house. Yeah. That's the thing that happened. And also there's that one lawyer, the one who was like super racist, and people were hounding him on the street in New York City, the one who made some comments about Hispanic people. And that guy was hounded basically to his workplace, to home, and he didn't sign any release forms, but journalists followed him anyway. I don't think that those journalists should be prosecuted under any law, because what they did was a public service, obviously. But even if it wasn't, what they did wasn't illegal, nor should it be.
Gotcha. So in the video with you're talking about the old lady that ran the Facebook group that was linked to the Russian propaganda outlet that was identified in one of the Mueller indictments. Her address was never posted.
Yeah, I know it wasn't posted, but people would say that is doxing because they hounded her, publicly, put her on TV, published her face, her name. That is one of the things that people call doxing, and that's why it's important to establish what doxing actually is. Because, I mean, I've seen people like, say, Tonkasa, for example, right? When you put his name out there, he accused you of doxing him. That is what I mean. Like, I don't think that was doxing, but he says it was doxing, and a lot of his fans say it was doxing, right? And they're like, ban Destiny because he's doxing people. He's doxed Tonkasa because you published his face that was actually already out there on certain websites if you knew where to look. And they call that doxing. So, like I said, it's dangerous.
We're pivoting so much around here. Okay, so firstly, Tonkasa's face wasn't randomly available on the internet somewhere. It was literally on his IMDb page. Okay, so it wasn't just like I dig through like weird Facebook archives. It was literally on an IMDb page. The lady that was running the Facebook group that was affiliated with the Internet Research Agency, the Russia-controlled agency, was identified by the Mueller indictments. She agreed to do that interview, and she agreed to talk to those reporters. These aren't just random people whose information is being published for malicious reasons on Twitter accounts. This is way, way, way different than you and I are having a disagreement and I'm going to post your address on my Twitter account. Do you think that those are different, or do you think all of that is just the exact same?
No, I don't think it's the exact same. It's obviously different. Yeah, there are different circumstances.
Okay, so then my very pointed question is that if I get into a disagreement with somebody, not a public figure, not somebody that runs a big Facebook group, not somebody that agrees to do an interview with the media, not somebody that agrees to have their information published somewhere. If I get into an argument with another private person and I decide that I want to tweet out their docs, they say, hey, by the way, this guy is a Trump or Hillary supporter. This is where he lives. Should I be allowed to do that? Should that be protected speech, do you think, ethically?
Ethically, no. I mean, the platform can ban you for it, right? That's the thing. Platforms are private, and they can...
I'm not asking for what the rules are or whatever. I'm saying that what should it be? Because right now you would get banned for it, but do you think that should be considered on a similar level as, say, swatting or something?
Not swatting, no. It's different.
So you don't think that...
I mean, it's not swatting. You're not going to kill somebody by doing that. No, I don't think so, no.
Sure, so neither is swatting. In swatting, we identified that swatting was bad because it has the potential to lead to somebody suffering great harm. I don't see how doxing somebody on Twitter and then identifying their political affiliation can't also produce a similar outcome. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but couldn't you say the same thing about just releasing a person's name, depending on how much information is already out there about a person? You don't even need to publish an address. If people know that this person said a bad thing or a thing that they disagreed with,